And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.
Now we bring a discussion on Pradhan Mantri particularly vulnerable tribal groups, PMPVTG Development Mission. The participants are Vishwajit Das, Deputy Director General, Minister of Tribal Affairs, and Omvesh Upadhyay, Anchor.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched Pradhan Mantri Particularly Vulnerable Tribal Groups PMPVTG mission for the holistic development of around 28 lakh PVTGs in the country. Prime Minister Modi launched the 24,000 crores mission from Jharkhand's Khunti district on the occasion of tribal icon Birsa Munda's birth anniversary and the 3rd Janjatiya Gaurav Divas. Today, to discuss more on the Pradhan Mantri Particularly Vulnerable Tribal Groups Development Mission and its objective, we are joined by Vishwajit Das, Deputy DG, Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Welcome to the program, Mr. Das.
Thank you.
Sir, to begin the discussion, I would like to get an overview from your side on the Pradhan Mantri PVTG mission and what were the key objectives of the mission.
First, we need to know who are the PVTGs. PVTG is among the 745 or 750 tribal groups. They are in the bottom of the pyramid. These tribes stay in scattered, remote and inaccessible habitations, often in forest area. Hence, this mission with a budget of rupees 20,000 crore is planned to saturate PVTG families and habitation with basic facilities such as road and telecom connectivity, electricity, safe housing, clean drinking water and sanitation, improved access to education, health and nutrition, and sustainable livelihood opportunities. In addition to this, separately saturation will be made sickle cell disease elimination, TB elimination, immunization, and other intervention of the government.
And sir, what are the key objectives of the mission?
The PVTG mission basically focus on 11 critical interventions through 9 major ministries of Government of India. These ministries are Ministry of Rural Development, Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Department of School Education and Literacy, Ministry of Women and Child Development, Ministry of Power, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Department of Telecommunication, and my ministry, that is Ministry of Tribal Affairs. The fund will be leveraged under the Development Action Plan for the scheduled tribe available with these ministries.
So, sir, whenever we talk about the criteria or parameters, how we are going to know that what particular tribe communities are qualifying for this mission and how we are ensuring their inclusion in the mission?
This is actually for those 75 groups who are in the lowest of the pyramid that I have already told you. They are staying in 18 states and 1 UT. In 220 districts, 840 blocks, and of course we have told 22,544 villages and with a population of 20 lakhs.
And sir, you briefly mentioned about the initiatives, but I would request you to please talk about the initiatives and programs that are the part of PVTG's mission to empower these specific tribal groups. What are these in a very detailed form?
These initiatives include provision of pakka houses, then connecting road, the road connectivity with the main road, then piped water supply along with community water supply, then health intervention, establishment of health sub-center whenever possible, otherwise it will be covered through mobile medical units, then education intervention, vocational education and skilling, then Anganwadi services, they will be covered with this program, then electrification where they were left out. If it is not possible through Ministry of Power, then we will connect through Ministry of New and Renewable Energy through solar power. Then setting up of VDVK, Bandhan Vikas Kendra, that is the intervention of my ministry. Then installation of mobile towers for mobile connectivity. These are the basic interventions. Apart from these, other intervention will also include Ministry of House will set up a house wellness center whenever possible. Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurships will facilitate skill and vocational training in PVTG habitations as per the traditional skill of these communities.
To take the discussion forward, it's often seen that due to certain living conditions and bad diet, some tribes often suffer diseases like anemia, malaria, gastrointestinal disorders, skin infections. So, sir, how does this mission address the healthcare and educational needs within the PVTG communities?
First, we will cover the educational needs. For education purpose, we have certain specific interventions. We are establishing that EMRS school, Eklabba model of residential school. It is being established in every blocks having 50% or more tribals and at least 20,000 tribals. And by 2026, we will be establishing 740 such schools. Apart from that, we are providing scholarships for pre-matric and post-matric and also for higher studies. About 35 to 37 lakhs students, ST students are getting scholarships every year from the interventions. This is our ministry intervention. 70% of the budget of our ministry budget is being spent for education only. But main education interventions are coming from Ministry of School Education and Literacy. They have some of the Shiksha schemes for overall educational development. Then state governments, they are also funding. So educational empowerment is I think it's a main thing for us. Then through Health Ministry, we are providing health services. And it will, if I may intimate you that from NFHS 5, if we see the indicators, there is huge improvements like institution delivery, it increased from 68% to 82-83% for stage. Even for immunization services, full immunization among children 12 to 23 months, that is 76.8%. And higher amongst all communities. So gradually improving, but still there are gaps, and we are trying to fulfill through the interventions.
And sir, if we talk about the livelihood and economic well-being opportunities, what measures are in place to make sure that PVTGs get these opportunities in terms of livelihood and economic well-being?
As I told you that through VDBK, Bandhan Vikas Kendra, that is about 15 SHG, each having 20 members, so in total 300 members in these groups. And they are mostly forest minor produce gatherer or small work they are doing. So through multi-skilling and providing tools, we are trying to improve their livelihood. Then through other interventions like PM Vishwakarma scheme or schemes of Ministry of Skills and Entrepreneurship, Rural Development, they have their livelihood schemes. Through these schemes, we are trying to improve the livelihood condition of these tribals. Further, we have National ST Finance and Development Corporations. Through this corporation, we are providing loans at a concessional rate to the tribal entrepreneurs also for their livelihood.
And sir, how does the mission ensure that development is inclusive and tailored to the specific needs of each PVTG community? In short, how the monitoring process will work, that a proper opportunity is given to each community?
We will establish PMU in the ministry to coordinate with all 9 ministries. Then we will have steering committee under the chairmanship of Secretary Tribal Affairs. Then we will have High Power Committee under the chairmanship of Honorable Minister of Tribal Affairs. Through this committee and intervention, we will try to monitor the mission and try to provide the services as envisaged under the mission by 2026-27.
And sir, is there any space for non-governmental organizations, NGOs to play any role in this mission's objective to support the mission?
In the mission, currently they are focused on 11 interventions that I already told, and there is no proposal to involve the private player or this. Maybe at later stage we may involve whenever need requires.
And sir, what are the future plans for the PVTG's mission? How is the sustainability of the initiatives is ensured beyond the mission's duration?
We will try to cover all the basic services and intervention through PVTG mission by 2027. Then through our normal scheme, we will continue and try to provide the services.
We are living in the era of digitalization, and India's digital revolution is acclaimed worldwide. How do you think the ministry and the government will use digital technology, the power of social media, to promote and gather better insights on the mission?
Ministry is already using digital technology. We have a dashboard for each and every intervention, and we have websites portal through which we are collecting data, providing services, providing funds. Even they are supposed to upload all the work, photograph of the work done in the ground level also. Further, in collaboration with the PM Gati Shakti mission, we are trying to leverage their services for our PVTG mission. And in fact, the BISA again, the technological partner of PM Gati Shakti, they have launched an app for us, mobile app, through which we are collecting data and trying to devise the gaps whenever the intervention are required for each PVTG mission.
And sir, when we talk about the story of modern India, and I remember the words of Prime Minister Modi when he talks that New India's development is all about reaching the last mile, reaching Antyodaya. How do you see initiatives like these in the modern India, talking about the benefits of each and every individual?
Definitely, we are, as the Prime Minister given the clarion call, we are moving through the direction only. Under the PVTG mission and other services, we are providing the intervention to the stage, and we will try to improve the situation and take them in the mainstream.
And sir, looking at the PVTG mission, we know that different ministries, different departments are cooperating on this, and the benefit will be given under different schemes. What are the stats involved in it? How many villages or states the scheme will cover? What is the number of people being benefited? If you can share with our listeners.
There are 75 groups PVTG. They are staying in 18 states and 1 UT, located in 220 districts in the country, 840 blocks, and villages, about 22,000 villages and habitations, and total population about 28 lakhs.
With these insightful input, before we wind up the program, here is a quick brief on the mission. In the budget of 2023-24, the launch of the Pradhan Mantri PVTG Development Mission was announced to improve the socio-economic condition of the PVTGs. For listeners' information, PVTGs are a more vulnerable group among tribal groups in India. These groups have geographical isolation, low literacy, 0 to negative population growth rate, and backwardness. 24,000 crore project is aimed at the development of the particularly vulnerable tribal groups. As a part of the mission, basic facilities such as road and telecom connectivity, electricity, safe housing, clean drinking water and sanitation, improved access to education, health and nutrition, and sustainable livelihood opportunities will be provided to areas where these tribal groups live, as they are mostly remote, scattered, and inaccessible. Under the scheme, several ministries will work in tandem to implement development projects. The schemes include Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Gramin Awas Yojana, and Jal Jeevan Mission, among others. And thank you so much, Mr. Das, for joining us today on Akashvani.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on Pradhan Mantri Particularly Vulnerable Tribal Groups PMPVTG Development Mission. The participants were Vishwajit Das, Deputy Director General, Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and Omvesh Upadhyay, Anchor. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsdtalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 92890940